Hey everybody, welcome to Space Engineers. So today I'm starting a brand new series to go along with my Conan Exiles and Project Zomboid series in the game Space Engineers. So if you don't know much about this game, it's a open sandbox, kind of create your own bases and ships and miners and all sorts of fun stuff. Now I'm not using just the base game, I'm running through a bunch of mods as well. And I'm going to link all the mods in the description of the video, so please, if you want to create a world with me and play along beside me, so be welcome to download them all. I got quite a bit installed, so just be prepared to do a little bit of research, but I'll do you a favor and I'll leave the links on the bottom. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we need to set up our game mode in our sandbox. So let's go ahead and we're going to start a brand new game. There are different scenarios in the game which you could start off with, more tutorials, but I am not an expert at this game. I'm kind of still learning a lot as I go, but I feel like sometimes you just need to just play the game to experience the game. So I'm not going to go through any of these scenarios right now. I've heard that they're pretty well put together, but we're going to go straight into a custom game. And let's go ahead and we're going to go all the way down to Star System, and that's where we're going to basically build our sandbox off. So let's just go ahead and call this Syntax 009 Space Engineers Series. Okay, we're going to be in survival mode. It's going to be offline. We're not going to be playing with anybody in this series, so no ape crap visits yet. Maybe someday in the future, but not right now. He's currently out of computer, so okay. We'll leave autosave on. Okay, so as for the mods, what's kind of cool about this game is makes it fairly easy to install the mods. So I have got, as you can see, a pretty extensive list of stuff that we're going to put in the game. So let's just go ahead and activate all the mods, hit OK. And we're going to go advanced. We're going to change a couple settings in here. First off, we're going to do character inventory size. We're going to set that to ×10. We'll keep the blocks inventory size the same. Assembler efficiency for the assembler, we're going to up that up a little bit. Refinery speed, we'll go ahead and put that at 10 as well. But we're going to keep our welding and grinding speed at ×2. Environmental hostility, this is going to be for like meteor showers and stuff. We're just going to go ahead and put that at normal. High density, of course, on our asteroid amount. We'll do realistic sounds and view distance. We'll go with 40 km. That seems to be running pretty well on my computer. Let's keep we'll keep the duration of that stuff all the same. We'll do no block limits, so we're not going to do anything too crazy. All right, now as for the other settings, I think the only thing we're going to change is we're going to put in spiders and enable missile friendly. Why not? And then we're going to keep the progression system inside the games because we're going to kind of be working with the progressions. And you can turn it off where it basically unlocks all the blocks at once, but we're not going to do that. So, okay, I think that's it. Let me just do a quick little double check. We're not going to do a permadeath scenario, so okay, cool. So I think we're good to go. So let's just hit OK and let's hit start and we'll get going. Okay, we'll see you once the game loads in. Okay, so here we are. We're at the game screen, and we'll hit the wrong key. So what we're going to do is we're going to first select this is our different starting scenario. So we're going to keep it pretty simple. We'll go with the Earth-like drop pad, and let's go ahead and respawn. So what we should be doing is now we're going to begin our free fall down to the Earth-like planet. Okay, so what this episode is going to be, we're going to take it kind of slow. So these are not going to be my normal 30-minute length videos. They could be shorter, depending on just kind of the goals of the episode. Is kind of how I'm going to dictate how long the episodes are going to be. So as far as our our first episode is, we're going to want to familiarize ourselves with our starting zone and then get up some basic power. So if we could do those two things on this episode, we're going to call that a success. So okay, so we're just about ready to touch down. Oh, cool. Okay, and we're down. All right, so we have, check it out, and we have also spawned right on top of some different ores, which is good. Okay, cool. So one of the first things we're going to take is before we start dismantling stuff, we'll take the gun and ammo and let's jump out of the cockpit real quick. Here we go. And we got a nice, it's not a bad landing spot. Okay, so like I said, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to craft up. And if we look at our inventory screen, the different things that we can we can craft right away in progression. One of the first things we're going to want to craft is an assembler, and that will unlock a whole bunch of things, but we're not going to be able to power that assembler unless we have some sort of way to generate power. So if we go to our power blocks, okay, we have different things that we can do right away, and well, hit the wrong button. There we go. So we got the wind turbine and the solar panel. Both of these are available options to us right out the gate. What we're going to do is, I think we're going to start with, let's first clear our hotbar out real quick. We're going to start with the wind turbine. So let's see if we can get today's episode to get a functioning wind turbine up and going. So, okay. So this is our little survival pack, or our survival pod that has a whole bunch of things on it that'll help us with the very beginning of the game. It's able to craft, if we go to this side right here, it's able to craft a bunch of different of the basic components that we got. So we've got things like computers and construction components and different things that are used to make the different blocks in the game. How this stuff is manufactured, as you can see, we got different things. We got iron, silicon, different materials that need to be used to craft this stuff. Well, how do we get it? Well, we use our survival. We use the actual survival generator right here, and it's going to, when we produce the ingots, and it's by the stone, it will transform all the stone into different kinds of amounts of materials, mostly iron. We do get some of the other stuff. So basically, what we need to do is do a little bit of mining. Is what I'm trying to say. So okay, so what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and start right here, and I've got kind of on the mod list. There is a mod that adds the survival elements as far as the need for food and stuff, and that is actually installed. So. And we'll get to that relatively quickly because our guy will slowly start depleting energy and start depleting food, and we have the need for food and water. So we're going to have to take care of that right away. So let's quickly bury down, and we're going to need to get some stone, and I want to make sure that we're pretty good. That should do right about here. Let's go a little bit farther. That should be good right there, and we're able to walk back up. And if it gets a little dark down here, we do have lights on our suit that we can use to kind of light the area. So what I'm going to do is let's drill us a little bit of stone. A quick little tip, while you're drilling, you can also hold down the F key, and it will kind of, sometimes it'll pick up everything, sometimes some stuff falls to the ground, but it kind of helps with the collection process. And what we're going to do is we're going to make like 1 or 2 quick little trips of a full inventory, and we'll process this stone up. Okay. About halfway there. Let's see what we got on the ground. And you can do the same thing. Just hold down F and it'll pick up everything on the ground. Here we go. All right. One more round. Our headlights, so we can see what we're doing. Okay. And that should just about do it. I think that should be good right there. So if we grab that, so we're good. Let's head back up to the surface. And we're going to throw this stone directly into our survival kit. Okay, so if we do that, and we go to production, and we're going to go ahead and hit Shift, Control, and 1 click, and that'll put 1,000 different times that it's going to produce these ingots. Now, the good thing about it is it'll only ever produce as much stone as we put in it. So to do 1,000, it's going to take a lot. But for right now, we're just going to kind of slowly feed the machine, and we need to get about 500 to 600 iron ingots. Is kind of what I want to start with. So we got just about 300 on one round. So let's go quickly back down. We'll go get one more round of stone. Okay. It should not take too long. Let's turn our lights back on so we see what we're doing. Here we go. As you can imagine, if we're able to grind down here, pretty much the whole world is fully destructible, which is one of the cool things about this game, is that it gives you this massive planet, and it tells you kind of just do it as you wish. So we can just mine big old holes, build big old bases, big old starships, blow things up, all sorts of crazy things. But we're not going to be at that point for a while. So we're just going to start with the basics of getting some power production for our base, getting some basic production as far as for ingot processing, where we can kind of make things a little bit easier, and then kind of work towards our first actual mining ship. That I like to kind of hand mine, but in this game you're going to be doing tons of mining, and doing it by hand is, although being it pretty easy, is not the most effective way of doing things. And plus, we want to build something that's kind of cool. Okay, that should probably just about do it. Yeah, one more round. Okay, right here. Okay. And there we go. We're full. Okay, I don't think we can get no more. Yeah, we're totally good. Okay, so let's, if we can find our way back, here we go. Back upstairs. Throw the rest of the stone back in, and this should get us to about 300 iron ingots. As you can see, the iron ingots definitely, you do get a lot more than the nickel and the silicone. Which is, it's by design. It's not that way. We're gonna have to go out and do some exploring if we're gonna want to mine some of the other minerals in the game. Okay. Another thing that that's kind of I don't like, but it takes, if you look on the production tab, it takes 500 stone to make one round of ingots, and we can only put 1,000 or whatever the units is in here, which is not a whole lot. And see, it's sitting at 258 because we're not at 500. So we can fix that by crafting the assembler, but we're going to need to get our base kind of up and going before we could even get to that point. Okay, so we've got enough iron. I think we got enough, 630. So let's go back to production. And you'll notice right here, as we get ready to craft our steel plates, what we need, it will kind of just create them anyway. Even though we have this kind of on queue, it goes to, if it's not able to make this, it'll go to the next one, which is kind of cool. So let's craft up to start. We'll do 30 steel plates, and that should go fairly quick. There we go. Okay, and while we're doing that, let's go back to our hotbar, and there's one thing that we picked up that we can put on our hotbar, which is our gun. Very nice. For protection purposes only. Okay. And there we go. We're good. Okay, so now we need to find a place to kind of start the process of building a home. Now, I don't want to be too far from our respawn pond, so maybe right about here. So we're looking for our first block, which is going to be the light armor block. There's two variations of it. If you're building on a base, it's going to be the large variation. If you're doing on a little starship or a planet miner, you've got the miniature version of it, which all the difference is it's bigger, it requires more components than the other one. As you can see, one steel plate for that takes 25 steel plates to make one of these. Okay, so I think we're going to go right about here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my jetpack on real quick. We're going to fly up, and we're going to go up 8 blocks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to head back down. Turn off the jetpack, and we can grind these back down. Okay, so what the idea is here is we are going to put, and I keep hitting the tab key for some reason. Okay, so let's go put the wind. We're going to put the wind turbine up here on top of this guy. So let's get back up top with the jetpack. Oh, we need to, and as you can see, we need an interior plate to build it. So head back real quickly to our spaceship, turn off the jetpack, and if we go back to our assembler, that should be no issue to craft. So let's go ahead and craft up 1 interior plate. We'll do 10. Okay, and here we go. Now if we fly back up, you should be able to place this guy real quick. There we go. Now let's see what other components that we need. So okay, to finish out this turbine, we're going to need 10 more interior plates, a motor, 20 construction components, 24 grinders, 2 computers, and 30 interior plates. Okay, so let's go down and craft that stuff real quick. Alright. Go back to the survival kit. And we're going to go... Let's see if I can do this good off memory. So we need 30 interior plates. We need... I don't remember how many rotors. Well, we'll do 10 We'll do 30 construction components. We're going to need I think it was 2 computers. We'll just craft 10. And then 24 grinders, so we'll do 30. It's always okay to have extra. Extra's better in this game. Because we can always we're going to always be crafting stuff. So we could use the materials. Okay. And it's just about done. So we start transferring over our stuff. And it's going to finish up the grinders, and we're going to go finish up this wind turbine. There we go. Okay. Back up top. Okay, so let's see if we got it all. Hey, there we go. You see it slowly makes its way up to 100%. Now, one thing to note, the little functional / hack that you see right there, that is where you need to grind up to where the block is actually functional. As you can see, I grabbed all of the components, which is the last 30 interior plates. We didn't need to craft those. Those are just for extra protection, but we did not have an issue with ore, so we're just going to go ahead and craft the whole thing. And the puppy should spin right up. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so how do we know if what we crafted is actually working? Well, there's one way of doing it real quick. So if we go back to our respawn pod, and we're going to need to craft up a panel. The control panel right here. We can craft this guy up real fast, which requires 1 display, 1 computer, 1 construction component. So I think all we need is a display. So let's go here and craft up 1 display. And we'll just do one of these guys. There we go. Then we go back to the inventory, put that in our inventory. We should be able to drop this guy down right here at the bottom. And we can rotate blocks by using the page up, page down, home, end, and insert and delete keys. So we're going to put it right there. And if we grind this guy up real fast. Oh, I didn't want to actually grind the block up. So there we go. Okay. We should be able to check it now. So if we hit F, the F key, and then we go to the wind turbine itself, you can see right here that the max output is 372.78 kilowatts. Right now our current output is 0, but if you look at our wind clearance, we're actually at optimal range right now. That's what we're looking for. The reason why we're not having any power being generated right now is, as you can see, we don't have a base, and there's no machines currently right now that are requiring power. That will soon change. Okay, so let's head back to our resource pod. Okay, and let's see, we can put the rest of our components inside the assembler. Okay, cool. One other little kind of tip when you're first starting out is that you have along with the kit that's right here, okay, you have a station right here that will help you regenerate your power and your health as well. So because as you can see, we're down to 59 right now, and that was from basically crafting this little structure that we made for our wind turbine. So quickly just interact with it and it'll charge it right back up. We'll also refill our jetpack as well. Now how this stuff works is if you look in our inventory, we should have this little button. This right here will show all the connected inventories as well. There is a O2H2 generator which is loaded with hydrogen and ice. So that will run out over time, and once we disassemble this ship right here, we're going to need to have a place to spawn in our base, but we're going to do that on a different episode. Okay, so cool. So the last thing that we're going to do on today's episode is we're going to craft the first. Let's get some more steel plates cooking up right now, and we're going to do. Let's just do 200 real quick. That should just take 1 second. What we're going to do is we're going to craft the first block on the progression that will unlock a lot of stuff, which is the basic assembler. And what we're going to do is, I haven't really quite figured out what kind of design I'm going for yet, but I think we'll just kind of keep it kind of just real small and contained right here to start with until we get a good amount of resource gathering, and we got an actual mining ship where we can do some massive amounts of ore processing all at once. Okay, one more cool little thing is in some mods. The vanilla base game does not have that many encounters right now. As a matter of fact, there's not any sort of like hostile encounters. That's coming in future updates, but there are mods that will kind of spawn that stuff in the world for us. This is one of them right here. As you can see, it's an armed transport. If we were to go engage that with a ship, it would fight back. But it's just going to kind of float out there and kind of not bother us right now. We also have ground encounters as well. So over time, as we explore this world, there will be things that we can interact with, and hopefully leads to lots of victories and not too many deaths. But probably will be some deaths. So okay, cool. All right, so we should get all our plates right now. We'll just grab them all. As you can see, I think we ran out of iron. We did. So we're going to have to give you more stone. I'll do a lot of that stuff in between as we get ready for the next episode. But real quickly, I wanted to drop down. And we'll just go 1, 2, 3. And then we'll just bring it out 1, 2, 3 right here for now. And this is just going to be the very basic foundations. And let's go ahead and weld this guy up real fast. Here we go. And right here. And I'm doing this for a reason, because there are 3 blocks that we're going to kind of craft towards the beginning. Okay. There we go. And you know what? We'll just kind of keep this little, grind up this last one as well, since this one is touching the ground. Okay. There we go. So now let's go back into our menu, and let's craft up an assembler. Okay, the basic assembler doesn't require anything that we don't have. And we're going to go ahead and drop this guy right here. And let's see what we need. So we got all the steel plate that we need. We need 40 construction components, 10 motors, 4 displays, and 80 computers. Okay. Okay, once again, let's see if I can remember that. And actually, we might need to do one quick round of mining. Let's see what we have. So we have a couple motors. We'll just go ahead and throw everything in there right now. It did not require any grinders. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of mining. One round probably. So let's go down and get one quick little round of mining done, which we already have some more that stayed on the ground. Okay. And let's turn on our headlights and grind us up a little bit more stone. Okay. All this stuff is all good. All right, about halfway there. Okay. How much do we got on the ground? Quite a bit. This might be enough right here. Okay. One more quick little round. Don't want to go back up till we're completely full. I don't want to be wasteful of trips down here. That should be enough right there. Okay. There we go. Okay, and we got something else enter our orbit real quick. Let's check. We've got armed transport. Oh, no, it's right there. We have an unknown signal. That's about 2.4 kilometers away. Or kilometers away. Okay. T-minus 14 minutes, and it looks like it's coming towards us. So I don't know if that's going to be hostile or not. So we're just going to have to figure out when it gets here. So we got about 14 minutes to figure that out. Okay, so real quickly, let's grind up the rest of the stone. Okay, 3. And this is, once we get this assembler and then the next block that I'm looking at, we won't have to be going through this process anymore. So, okay, and that should be that. Okay, so let's craft up. So we had, I don't remember how many motors, but I know we had 80. There's 80 computers, and then there was, I want to say 40 of those. Let's go double check while that's going. So it was 40 components, 10 motors, 4 displays. We're missing the 4 displays. Okay. So back to production, and we'll craft up 4 displays. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we should have enough material to get all that stuff done. Okay. And that guy looks like he might have stopped. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's not coming towards us anymore. Maybe it landed on the ground. 2, 3, okay, and 4. That should be everything that we need. Okay, so let's finish crafting this guy up. As you can see, we didn't have all the steel plates on this guy right now, but it still crafted the block. So we can always come back and add the additional steel plates for protection, but it will totally function right now. So if we go to the I want to say it's under control panel, and we look now at our wind turbine, you're going to see that the current output right now is 1,000 watts. So we are actually receiving power now. So if we go into this assembler, we should be able to throw in, let's quickly go back to our pod real fast. We had some extra stone, the 384 that could not be processed because we had to get to 500 for it to actually run a cycle. One kind of good thing about, it's actually, you know what, I'm thinking ahead, we're going to need to put the refinery up, but what will happen is once we have the refinery is that 384, we can run that through the refinery and it'll run it all the way down to 0. So, okay, but I think we're going to save the refinery for the next episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up right here, and when we get back, we'll put in the refinery, and I'll kind of expand out the space a little bit, and we'll kind of go to the next step of our progression through this game. So, okay, hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you on the next episode of Space Engineers. All right, take care, everybody.